This is not good. This is a great thing. And I am not, well, look like tonight is my night to experience these kind of difficulties. That is just not, let me see if anybody giving me any advice through WhatsApp. Yeah. I am still waiting to see if this thing is going to connect. It says live, but there is no movement. It's frozen in time. Live, and then there's no live, and then it reconnect again, and the rain has messed up the live, and maybe we're not about to go live, and maybe I need a battery operated lantern, and and some coal, you know. Oh, all right then. It's not going to work out, so I don't know what to do. But you said you can hear me. Can somebody please indicate to me that you can hear me? Good night, Olga. How are you? Can you see me or you can just hear me? Which one? You can see me or you can just hear me, because I don't know. Something is not right. All right. Good night, good night, good night. My image is paused. All right then. So you can see the paused image and you can hear me. Is that it? Ah, I see. Well, all right then. Let's just talk about the stuff that we need to talk about then. No? So good night, everybody. We are YouTubing without picture. And that is a new thing. And you must always embrace new things and see if it actually works. All right? And see if we can do. So I want to start out first, and I apologize for the late start, but as I said, the rain and the light keep going in and out. I was worried at about 7:10 when it went about 2 or 3 times, but unfortunately for all of us, it came back. So I'm doing one of these lives where you can't see me. All right? So I want to first of all wish a very, very happy birthday shout out I want to send out to my bestest friend, Spencer. Enjoy today. I hope you enjoy your lunch, and I know that dinner is good. Enjoy your birthday. I want to give a shout out to Westmoreland. I want to give a shout out to the residents in Sheffield and the people at Mad McLeod, the teachers at Mad McLeod. I want to shout out to our young farmers in Westmoreland. I want to just give everybody a big shout out. All right. So now, I want to make an announcement that I will make at the beginning and I'll make it again. And I want to ask Jamaicans to go out and support. There is this thing that Mr. Vegas has advertised that they are going to be having a celebration of Jamaica at the Jamaican Embassy in Washington, D.C. on June 15th at 8 a.m. It's a celebration of Jamaica. So all the Jamaicans down in the District of Columbia, down in Maryland, down in Virginia, and in DC itself, you should all go down and see if you can support that event. I'm wearing my Pride shirt. So lots of things going on around the world and all of that. The Jamaican Embassy, for those of you who might not know where it is right round that, what you call that circle there, DuPont Circle. Right round there. So it's at New Hampshire Avenue. I think Northwest number 7 or thereabout. That's where the Jamaican Embassy is in Washington, D.C. So all you Jamaicans can go out there and support, bigging up Jamaica, wear your Jamaican shirts, wear your Jamaican shoes, wear your Jamaican stuff, and go celebrate Jamaica. So I want to kick off tonight because we have a lot of things we want to go through, and I apologize once again for the the lack of what do you call it, seeing these things. Let's start first of all with some small matters. Well, not small matters, but small matters anyway. The attempted burning of our parliament, and I'm not laughing about it because it's a serious matter. The attempted burning of the parliament. And I want to remind you all about some things. The things I want to remind you about is, everybody hearing me fine? Is everybody hearing me fine? I know the picture paused, but I want to know if you're all hearing me. You all hearing me? Yeah? Yeah, the picture paused, but it's a nice. I'm still a nice looking brown woman. I mean, it's a picture paused, but don't worry about the thing. In many of you might, I want to remind you of something about the burning of the parliament and why I am not up in arms about it, as most people are. 3 U.S. Code S15 in the United States Constitution talks about the counting of the Electoral College votes in Congress. And that process of counting the Electoral College vote is an official process by law and by Constitution. January 6th, most of us did not know this simple procedure that takes place in the U.S. each presidential election, where there's a joint session of Congress and they all meet and they count the Electoral College votes from all 50 states and declare the winner of the election then. I mean, the election is won and the president won. Without that process, you don't have a president. If that process should be interrupted by violence and other means, it would be, as it has been regarded as, an insurrection. So the insurrection of January 6th was not because the people went down there and demonstrate and protest and lick down things and build a gallows and say them want to hang Mike Pence. That is not their crime. Their crime is not that they're moving on the building of Congress and decide that they're going to create all kind of scene and excitement on it. That is not their crime. Their crime was that they were violently interrupting a legal congressional process. That is the crime. And they went there with an intent to interrupt that process and to create mayhem and to cause violence and to hurt people. That is the crime of the insurrectionists. Not that they decided to go down to the Congress and create some scene and excitement. Because the U.S. laws are so strange, and I said strange because, I mean, U.S. laws are strange, that sometimes, if I look at the law and look at what they did, I could say that should that grouping of people that descended on the Congress on January 6, 2021, should that group of people had arrived in the Capitol on a different day, on an ordinary day when lawmakers are out of town and when there are no other official proceedings taking place, should that mob had descended on the Capitol, then probably wouldn't break any law. It probably wouldn't have been a breaking of law should they have done it. So we're talking about the man that got down to with Parliament and say, "More burn it down." Why would a citizen of the country decide they want to burn Parliament? Good night, sweetie. Good night, everybody. Good night, Dawn. Good night to you all. Good night, Tony. Good night, Ralston. Good night, Maurice. I believe that our democracies have a certain amount of symbols that we adhere to. We stand when the national anthem is to be sung. The national anthem is sung at official functions and at schools and stuff across the world. Across the world, the foundation of democracy are the symbols that democracy represent, like the Congressional Building, like the Parliament House here, the symbol of our democracy, like Jamaica House, like King's House, the symbol of our democracy, like the ministerial buildings. And there are other symbols of our democracy. The elections. Elections is the most profound symbol of democracy across the world. The flag, the anthem, the national pledge, those are the cornerstone of democracy in our constitution. And those must be respected and those must be observed. All right? But the man that attempted to burn down the parliament probably felt the same way that I do. Because you might find it's a little radical. But listen to me very carefully. If the symbol, if the flag and the parliament building is the symbol of that represents my freedom and my democracy, my rights, the parliament building, the flag, the ministerial building, if those things are the symbols that represent my rights and my freedom and my democracy, then as a citizen, I think that I reserve the right to burn that flag in protest if I want to, or to light the building also if I want to, because those things represent my freedom. Those things represent my the democracy. Those things represent what I represent. The anthem, the flag, all of it. So therefore, I think that if I have the right to have that building and have the right to respect that building and have the right to know that the building is there to protect my rights and my freedom, then same way I have the right to burn it in protest. Yes, so maybe the gentleman decide that in here that Mark Golding and a whole bunch of people in the parliament who don't really belong in the parliament. The cartoon, as a cartoon, that this man might have just heard, watching the whole excitement going on and saying to himself, say, "Oh, what a Rasta judge is this, Jack? You want to tell me that who are them down there illegal alien?" And he said, "I'm going to go about it." The fact that there was nobody in the parliament and it was a weekend would suggest that he never going to harm anyone. So I hope nobody and a judge to try and lock him up, because that would be that to try and lock him up without understanding his motivation and his intent would be an infringement on his freedom and the very democracy that we say we have. That freedom and that democracy. Because if I have this flag, which I'm not going to denigrate the flag, I'm not going to tear the flag, I'm not going to walk on the flag, I'm not going to write nothing on the flag, but in protest of my government, I reserve the right to burn the damn flag. That is how I see it, in protest of the government. But that can only be done on the soil of Jamaica. So therefore, the little man, I would never try to lock him up and prison him and cause no grief for the man, because the man must have a right to want to exercise his freedom and his democratic right, and him recognize the parliament building as part of his democratic right and his freedom and rare. And he might express disgust. He might express his dissatisfaction of the building that represent him, to say that all only in there are British citizen and UK citizen and US citizen and Canadian citizen, but burn it down. Seems harsh, don't it? Yeah, I know. We have some topics we want to get through tonight, and we're going to talk about Mr. Tufton and side chick Nick, and how she just out and about like a common cheap whore all over the place. We're going to talk about Southeast St. Catherine and Dr. Dawes and Nancy's stories, and then we're going to talk about Mark Jefferson Golding. So let us start with Mr. Tufton and how side chick Nick evened up herself by the Minister of Health. It will be a sad day in this country, a very sad day, if the Minister of Health got knocked over by a vehicle and turned up at the hospital and don't get preferential treatment. It would be sad all over right through if the Minister of Health got knocked over off his bicycle, turned up at the hospital and nobody don't give him special treatment. What is wrong with that, girl? Is it that these whole false body and false breasts and false bottom and false hip, them things that get into her head, maybe them plastic thing them melt in her brain, why she believe that she can just come out and say these things? But there must be something else why she's just out and about talking about everything, have a comment about everything. Could it be that not only is Mark Golding melting down, not only is that Mark Golding have lost his mind, but maybe the rest of them following behind, she losing her mind too, why she would have get up and take up herself and start criticizing and making all kind of trouble about the Minister of Health getting preferential treatment. Of course I'm supposed to get preferential treatment. Can you imagine you're the minister of health and you're basically in charge of all the hospitals and you get licked down, you go to hospital, everybody asks who you? And look about that patient for me. Doctor, and doctor says, soon come to that patient. Nurse say, yeah, we're dealing with other patient, we soon go to that patient. Can you imagine that? Try and imagine that. In this country where the Minister of Health turn up at a hospital that he's in charge of. I go to Parliament and go to Cabinet and represent those hospitals. And him say, yo, and him get licked down and him go to hospital and then the hospital not will look after him because him not forget the preferential treatment. Which planet wanna live on? I mean, things might not be so well on the rise planet, but the planet not so good. But that planet won't live on and behave with all those kind of things. I find those things very, very disturbing. Very disturbing. That side chick, Nick, take up herself and just getting very talkative these days and saying all kinds of things about all kinds of things. And I'm going to mention her again down further because she's putting out all kinds of things that have come on tonight to sort her out in no uncertain terms. So, let us see if we can talk a little bit about Southeast St. Catherine. And boy, when I don't want to ask me to get into the Dawes thing and all kinds of things, when I don't ask me to get into those things because I have no idea what Mr. Dawes is talking about. But I know that, good night, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm sorry that you can't see my lovely face tonight, but you have to just listen to my cross voice, all right? Because we're YouTubing without all the other things tonight. I don't know what happened with the light and the internet and the rest. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about Southeast St. Catherine. And for Southeast St. Catherine, I want to big up the comrades in Southeast St. Catherine. I want to big up Comrade Banner. And many of you might not know who Comrade Banner is. Comrade Banner is Comrade Banner is the guy who on the news media all the time talking about how Dr. Dawes is this and that. I don't know. But Banner is my guy. Banner is a good guy. God is a guy that I love. And there's a mad woman down the lane. So I want to big up Banner. And Paul Robertson would be very, very proud of Banner for the way he has stood up to the forces that try to beat down Southeast St. Catherine. And Comrade Banner, you have my 100% support. You know me there, feel right for the back. Southeast St. Catherine has 5 divisions. There is Edgewater, which is represented by Comrade Alric, who is at the center of some of this. You know, there is Bridgeport, which is represented by Kennard Grant, and I am trying to just answer somebody here in WhatsApp. Yeah, and then there is Waterford, represented by Fenley Douglas, who basically know nothing with Dawes. There is Independent City, which is represented by a strange guy. And I don't understand it because when I saw the name, it rang a bell, and I said, let me check out this thing. So here is Independent City, which is a JLP councillor, is the councillor of Independent City. But the caretaker for Independent City is a guy named Junior Gale, who is not only an ex-Labourite, but a rapist, an accused rapist. Just the kind of guy that Mark Golding and Dayton Campbell them love. Just for them kind of guy, an accused rapist who was also promoted to be vice chairman for the constituency. All right, so let us look at all of that. Then there is Westchester, the Westchester division, which is represented by that treacherous riser named Renee Benjamin. Into Mark, up him all up the way, him head stuck in a Mark as you don't know where him begin and Mark ends. You know, But the people keep voting for these people to represent them. It is baffling to me. And I was talking about we're talking about the meeting that was held. And here we are. 5 divisions. And according to my calculation and based on what I should know about politics, is that each division for election would need about 150 persons, workers for election day. So therefore, if you're going to have a workers meeting, you're looking at most 1,000 people to turn up at this workers meeting. But how many people actually turned up at this meeting? How many? But before going to that, let's go into the pre-meeting. So there was this meeting on the Friday night where everybody was trying to force Dawes still down the comrade's throat. And I can't imagine why we can't say that if after a year, we still can't settle Dawes into Southeast St. Catherine, if after a year, you're still having trouble, I'm not going to make it. No way I'm going to, first of all, I'm not going to make it as a candidate. And that's my political experience telling you that. Because God knows what the comrades I'm going to do next. So I'm not going to make it as a candidate. Should I be wrong, and he actually make it through as a candidate, and him actually make it through and be an MP, him lasting no more than the term, whenever that term ends. Now, him not will last. That is if him win. So he would last only if him win. So I understand when they introduced Dawes and they had this big hell of a excitement down there, and everybody broadcasting it, the one where left America about 20 years now and still have up him accident, or Canada, wherever it is in there. And him broadcast it live, and everybody and KD and everybody went down there and promoting Dawes and pushing Dawes, and a whole host of people were busting for Dawes. And then them burned down the place, and then the comrades them protesting at party headquarters and all over the constituency. And then local government election came, and then Dawes walked with a group of people who, some of them who were my PMP, but none of them actually have any kind of influence, because I know all of them that's walking up and down with him. And tonight I want to tell the Jamaican PMP people them, and all the people in the country this. If you have to start to resort to strongman tactics to install a candidate, it is a clear indication that as a political movement, you are looking at one side and not the other. What do I mean by that? I mean that you are focused on what you want and not on what the people want, what the people need, what the people are demanding. That is not your focus. And Dayton Campbell is the architect of that, not focus on everything kind of guy. So I go around there and tell the people them, boy, a Dawes are the man. Him the party pick, and him the party choose, and telling the people that we meet with Ulrich and we show Ulrich all kind of options that he could have. Just, and he made the reference that, well, we show Ulrich a number of options that he could have, just like how we showed Wavell Hines a number of options after we did the bogus poll and him never win, and him have to run with Elisa and a constituency and we give him Deputy General Secretary to soothe his ego. So basically what Dayton Campbell is saying, we had that discussion with Ulrich. We told Ulrich we can make this happen and we can make that happen. Yeah? And up to all of that, nothing changes. All of that and nothing changes. Then the Friday meeting last week, it took a different turn based on my information. First of all, Dayton Campbell, that pedophile, who's the General Secretary of Norman Manley Party, down there tell the PMP people them say, if them not fall in line, he might go get the clans to form them in line. I don't know if the Ku Klux Klan him attack, but because I don't know which clan him attack, because I'm sure if the clan where everybody else think him absolutely know what going on in this country. Not and know what going on Southeast St. Catherine either, if that clan him attack. So I hope it's the Ku Klux Klan him talking about. I really do hope it's them matter. And it's a joke. If them not fall in line, the comments them talking about how much bad man I walk up and down with Dr. Dawes, known bad man, top notch bad man I walk up and down with Dr. Dawes, influential bad man who not influence us out in St. Catherine, but you know they are known as influential bad man. And then in the one side, the general secretary, I tell people say if they don't fall in line, then the clan are gonna fall them in line. Of course, when I'm told that, I say, and when we're not thinking of that in me, it's a different thing I talk about. It's a joke around about the Ku Klux Klan. It can't be anything else. Because the General Secretary, the PMP, must know that where him at and the people them that him looking at and talking to and referring to, the people them where make nice and a quarrel, are them that. I mean, I don't know. Mark is Karen's biggest problem. Of course, Mark is Miss Karen's biggest problem. And Mark is my problem because him lie and deceive his way into the leadership of Michael Manley and Norman Manley party. I may defend that. So if you don't like that, you cannot up off from a live or behave yourself and come here, come learn something. Huh? So here now. Him not understand that so must spread them kind of things and I try frighten the PMP people them. And the PMP people from Southeast St. Catherine know better than him, so them not frightened by that. Not frightened by that. Certain man go away, come back with bad man, 2 man, 3 man. I mean, the whole thing on Friday night was like some kind of gangster business. Like them are roping some man for, listen, we need to go down there and settle them people their business. What is this? 70s politics? Is this 1970s? Early 80s? 1980s? What is this? We're going out with some strong arm man and yo, that we are said, that we are do. What's wrong with it? It is 2024. It is the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2024. It is the age of social media, the age of TikTok and WhatsApp. It's the age of X. It's the age of Instagram. It's the age of information and it's the age of independence because that information and the access to that have given people a certain level of independence. But I would like to inform Dayton Campbell and Wavell Hines and them boss not ready for him yet. Soon get to Marky G. Let's not, we soon get to him. I would like to inform you all and to tell the voters of Southeast St. Catherine, just to remind you, because I'm sure you know, but I want to remind you, the voters of Southeast St. Catherine. Every power that all of them have is you give it to them. Let me remind you, voters of this country, every single one of them will walk around and big up them chest and them big vehicle and them excitement and them barely want to talk to you. And I tell you about them, I'm going to make the clan deal with you and fall in line. Every one of them, the power that them have, you gave it to them. Do you know what that means? That means that the power is always yours, have always been yours. But you, the voters, have made so much bad choices in terms of the people you elect to serve you. You have made such bad choices that when you're faced with these kind of difficulties, nobody don't want to feel sorry for you, because they're watching you year after year and decade after decade electing people that don't represent your best interest. And that is why they're taking you for idiot. That is why a fool, a damn pedophile fool like Dayton Campbell could come into Southeast St. Catherine, could come over into Paul Roberts' constituency, run a left field constituency, Northwest St. and that him lose, that the PNP people then vote him out and him can't go back. And left there and I come back, come tell Uno in a Southeast St. Catherine, say I ate this. And Dr. Dawes. And a Dawes I do it. And Dawes I do it and a Dawes. And I hit this and man must just, accept. Yes, comrade, yes, my friend, I have announced the July 15th Washington, D.C. thing. And I will announce it again. And when him do that, what has he done? Nothing but isolate the PNP people them. That's all he has done, isolate the PNP people them in Southeast St. Catherine and rile them up more against Uno. Them not in a nothing with Uno. And so, we don't reach Sunday yet. Well, we passed over Sunday, but we're going back to Sunday. So that happened Friday. And them organized the meeting. And I don't know what they told PJ Patterson, that he could have allowed them to put his name on card and paper and whatever it is to announce that he is coming to go to a meeting, a workers' meeting, to hold up Dawes' hand. Because if PJ will show up at a workers' meeting for a candidate, it is to hold up them hand and say to the comrades and say, yes, I am glad that this is the man. Now PJ is Dr. Dawes' godson, I understand. And Dr. Dawes, with all of his education and his success, still look like him never really grew good. Something about him that suggests him never grew good. And I don't mean that in a bad, disrespectful way to Dr. Dawes. If PJ truly is godfather, probably never even have no influence on him when he was growing up either. And I come to these conclusions, not in a disrespectful way to PJ or Dr. Dawes, but I come to these conclusions based on my own understanding of what godparents are. Now, PJ is a Baptist. I don't know how the Baptists deal with godfathers and godmothers. I am a member of Church of England. I'm an Anglican. Godparents matter, a serious matter in the Anglican Church. Which is why in England and the royal family, and in Australia, and in New Zealand, and places like those, godparents matter, a serious matter. They take pains in selecting godparents for them children. And when a citizen or somebody that I know call me on the phone or come and see me and them say, they're going to have a baby and it's a girl and it's a boy, I want to be the godmother. Me have serious discussions with them because I want them to not take that serious. It means that I'm going to have influence in the child's life. Ask anybody in this community. Every godchild that calls me godmother, I have influence in their lives. I must. Because I see my role as being a parent, a mother when your mother is not around. So I don't know if PJ being a Baptist and what the Baptist does in terms of being a godfather, if PJ never have any much influence on him. Because I would like to think that if PJ had much influence on Dr. Dawes when he was growing up, he would have been a better man. I have no doubt he would have been a better man. So maybe PJ was just asked to be his godfather because PJ knew his parents or close to his parents or they were friends. But him never spent much time with PJ learning anything. Because if he had spent time with PJ Patterson, this wouldn't be reaching him. I'm convinced of that, this wouldn't be reaching him. Because he's arrogant, full of crap, think about all about himself. Everything is about him. Because all know him don't get it. And that's the saddest part of the whole thing. Him don't get it yet. And he's still depending on some strong-arm people to push him there. And I already said to him, and I'm going to repeat it, if you have to be strong-armed in there, you're going to lose. You know why you're going to lose? Mark Golding and Peter Bunting, Dayton Campbell was in charge of their ground operation in 2020 to sabotage certain candidates and certain seats for us to lose, for certain candidates to lose and certain seats to be lost. Places like Central Westmoreland, places like West Rural St. Andrew, places like Central Kingston, places like, I can never remember where Arton down in St. James ran. They targeted certain seats and sabotaged them. So as a result of that, the people of Southeast St. Catherine and the PNP people across the country now know that if there is a candidate that the PNP put in, that Mark Gold, that PNP, the Rise United camp put in to represent them, and they did not have a choice or a say in the matter. If they did not have a say in the matter, in how that candidate was chosen and how that candidate was selected, then by all means them can sabotage him or them cannot vote for him. Then they must vote for him or her if they never have a say in selecting them. They have no obligation, none at all, zero obligation as a voter. And I'm not talking to you only as a PNP voter, I'm talking to you as both PNP and JLP and no P. the person that you are going to go into that voting booth and vote for, if you never have a say in selecting that person to be a candidate, and if you in particular was not impressed with that candidate and didn't want that candidate, then you have absolutely no obligation to go out there and vote for that candidate. None. And the PMP workers, them in Southeast St. Catherine, they want back an MP. And I'm sure they're going to take other measures to make sure, say, them don't have Dr. Dawes. And it's not going to end well for Dr. Dawes because of how we approach the whole thing. And how Dayton Campbell and them have propped him up to approach the whole thing. Yeah. So that's it. So then now, come Sunday, after dating him, Friday night I tell the people them about him, I'm going to make the clansman them sort them out. Oh, Jesus, help us. Help us, Lord, help us. I understand that Alric spoke that Friday night. And some comrades tell me, say, Comrade Karen, Alric talk and Alric voice broke. Like Alric was going to cry. Alric broke down. Because, and I said, explain to me, what point of what he was saying did he break down? You know, Alric was talking about the process. Alric was talking about the process, being given a chance as a counselor who have expressed a desire to continue to serve the people of Southeast St. Catherine in a different capacity, and to be given that chance for the delegates them to weigh him against the other guy. And he broke down almost because of that. Broke down. And I've Dayton Campbell tell people about, if they don't fall in line, I'm going to make the clan, make them fall in line. I hope to God is a Ku Klux Klan him talking, and him actually living in an alternate universe where it is 1963, and this is not Jamaica, this is Alabama or Mississippi. I hope to God that is some dream I'm having about that. You know? And all the other man them will come with man. Comrade Woodbine and all the rest of them will stand up there with man and man. Because everybody's there to force Dr. Dawes and the people. And the people are say, we don't have an issue with Dr. Dawes. We have an issue with the process. I will want you to understand that the process is unfair and the process is unjust. So PJ couldn't go. PJ could not have gone to that meeting. At all. PJ could not have gone. And I'm going to tell you why PJ could not have gone. PJ was the longest serving prime minister in this country. And that wasn't by accident. That was because he was astute and clever in how he operated politically. And both Michael Manley and PJ Patterson had people, experienced people, to back them up in problems like these in constituencies. Peter Phillips was the main man to send out, go solve these problems. Peter Phillips solved the problem in Central Kingston with Colonel Lloyd. When the people make up scene and excitement, several meetings, several rum drinking sessions, meeting down a lane, meeting down a bar, meeting upper office, meeting at party headquarters, meeting in a Walker place, meeting upon meeting, until the comrades them settle down. And I will never forget, and I've said it already, what happened in North Trelawney with Patrick Atkins. How much meetings and the CM Annette Parchment, because she is the being of the existence of the people of North Trelawney, always doing over skedaddling, forget some kind of personal gain out of everything, so her voice is the loudest. And I remember that Peter Phillips had to, almost about 7 meetings or 8 meetings, Peter Phillips drive down to Trelawney to keep with everybody until everybody got on board. Nobody ever forced Patrick Atkins on them. Them came out strong against Patrick Atkins. Peter Phillips had meeting at school. Peter had meeting at community center. Peter have rum meeting, pork eating meeting, fish meeting, seaside meeting, resort meeting, hotel meeting. I mean, meet like foolishness, just to make sure that everybody gets to say their piece. Just to make sure that everybody is listened to and treated with ultimate respect, because these are the people we are going to need not only to work, but to vote and to get out the voters. And that's how you show respect to voters and workers. You don't come to the people in place and I tell them about clans. And I walk on Dr. Dawes, I walk on with bad man and strong man, I walk on with him. To tell people, say, I'm with you. To make people say, boy, them man, they're with him, so Ray. Nobody not buying into them things anymore. This is not 70s nor 80s. People don't buy into them things anymore. Because you, back in the day, man and man out there and people can go do and people better go vote and all the rest of it. I know. I live in Jews land. We experienced it too. Huh? But we are now living in a time where election morning, people who tell us that they're not with you will get up, put on them clothes, beard and smell nice, come out a road, stand up on one corner or sit down on one bar or one shop corner and look for you the whole damn day to make you know so them now vote. Or people just go in them car and drive out. Or people just put on them clothes and go take a bus and walk out. Nobody's not afraid of nobody. You can't frighten people into supporting something that they don't want to support. And this is not the way it is done. So PJ couldn't show up. You couldn't get PJ to show up at that foolishness. Because I'm sure that PJ would ask the first question that PJ would have asked is, what am I coming to? Is the matter settled? Are the comrades happy and contented? Are they now ready to endorse Dr. Dawes? And PJ would have been getting all kind of funny argument. And PJ would have touched base with some people himself or get film people and to touch base with people and find out what I'm going down there. And PJ still have him, some members of the little kitchen cabinet will inform him and say, no, this is not settled. You can't go down there. You go down there to go legitimize an illegitimate process. You'll be going down there to basically join the bad man them to force Dr. Dawes and the people of South East St. Catherine. When them said they don't want nothing to do with him. Well, them really said they don't want nothing to do with him. Their quarrel is a process. Alrich's quarrel is a process. And when you have a guy like Dayton Campbell, even up himself in a Harman man, the party, and I tell people about clan. Yeah? Starting up in clan territory, I tell people about clan. I hope it's a Ku Klux Klan I'm talking about. So there you go. So that was a Friday meeting. And PJ wasn't going to go to the Sunday meeting. According to my information, I believe it was Waterford High School, I think. I know that auditorium can hold 500 people. Well, probably about, less than that. But I understand that 120 chairs was laid out in the auditorium. 120 chairs. And then, there's a crowd no outside, no crowd no, them can't do no video because the place is empty. Empty place. 5 divisions, each of which will require 150 workers for election. 5 divisions and some extra. So you need 1,000 people. And it's a Sunday. And Dayton Campbell walk around and tell people, so the PMPs were 8 points ahead. So on a Sunday, 5 divisions, 8 points, and you can't get 200 people in the room. You can't get 200 people on the compound. That will tell you what you need to know. All of that shows up on the political novice. The noviceness on the politics, it shows up how much on the weak, on the ineffective, on the living in a different world, on the understand nothing we are going to the real world. So you, Dayton Campbell and Wavell Hines and soon get to the boss, turn up there. And then there is Dr. Dawes. There is Dr. Dawes. The great Dr. Dawes. There. Somebody sent me a text after looking at Dr. Dawes thing, and the person said to me, say, he need a story. And I responded, he needs a story. It can't be much more clearer than that. Every politician needs a story. PJ used to talk a lot about when him grandmother give him grip and put him on the bus and send him to Kingston straight to Calabar where he was housed. Calabar was a I don't remember the word, but them lived there. And PJ told that story for years during his political life. It's when he become leader and prime minister and stuff, him really never tell it as often as he used to. But every politician, every good politician need a story. And the sadder the story, the better it is. Because you can tell a story like the man where I hide in British citizenship and talk about him is a privileged son of the soil and all of that. Them story they don't sell. You need a good story. And if you're going to spread conspiracy theory, you need a good protagonist. And a protagonist is the center of the story or the conspiracy theory that you're going to be spinning. So when Dr. Dawes decided that I'm going to take the mic, because I listened to it again tonight, I watch him again tonight, and I said, my God in heaven, him searching for a story to tell. And he ended up and landed on the story where somebody had tried to poison him, or somebody did poison him, or maybe it was poison, or maybe it was not. I don't know. But I love a good conspiracy theory. And conspiracy theory must have a foundation of a protagonist. And that's why most conspiracy theory works when you're actually doing the conspiracy theory against government, because government is the greatest protagonist, center of everything. Like, for example, what happened in 1951? Yeah, the alien ship landed in New Mexico down in Roswell. The whole of the city and the town felt that, yes, it was an alien ship with aliens that crashed in the desert of New Mexico in 1952 or thereabouts. I don't have the date right. But yes, every person you spoke to, that was spoken to during that time, said yes, it was a round object with flashing light, and it crashed in the desert of New Mexico in Roswell. And for years up to this very day, you can't tell some people that alien ship never crashed in the desert of New Mexico in the 50s. That means the 50s, I don't remember the exact year. In the 50s. Why? Why was that such a potent conspiracy theory? That I don't know if that's a conspiracy theory, because if you watch Independence Day with Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum, and Jeff Daniels too, it tell a different thing, because Will Smith found the aliens and all kind of crap. And it's the same place. Now, why is it such a good conspiracy theory? Because around that time, the government commandeered some land and build this underground thing, and still never know what them down there do. So it was easy to believe that conspiracy theory. Still easy to believe, because them still have this underground place down there. Nobody that paid the mind these days, but it's still there. So when Dr. Dawes get up and start spinning a story, so somebody poisoned him, or somebody nearly poisoned him, or I'm almost poisoned, or I think it was poison, he still don't get it right. Because he might look for a story that would make him human. He might look for a human story, a story that can sell him, a story that would make people look at him and say, oh God, I'm sorry for him. I could give him, no? I could give him, because God no. Lord have mercy. Him need that for some people go say, no sir, we hear Dr. Dawes talk about, yeah man, I could give him. And he landed on a conspiracy theory about poisoning and non-poisoning, and whether it was rat poisoning or roach poisoning, I don't know. But the whole thing just have no substance to it, and it comes across as disingenuous and maybe even a damn lie. Not calling Dr. Dawes a liar. I'm just talking about the story we're telling, And I don't know, but watching his body language, I don't know if it's true. I don't know if he's spinning something. I don't know if he's looking for a story to humanize him. I don't know what is the aim of all of this. I don't believe it for a minute. But if I talk him story, it is his right to tell whatever story he wants to tell. I don't have to believe it. And I don't know if him not understand that when he was telling the story of how him look and how him poised and him do all, I mean, listen man, I know you're not an actor, but if you're going to tell a story, the story must come, if there's any truth to the story, which is why I don't believe it, if there's no emotion from him to suggest that this was a real thing. There was no emotion. I was looking for some emotion when I asked for it to be sent to me. I said, let me watch it myself. I'm looking for the emotions. I'm looking for the uneasiness. It was too smooth. So if you're going to plan a conspiracy theory to sell yourself as a human being and maybe as a broken man that needs some help, and you're asking the PMP people to save you, man, you need a better story. You need a better story, a better this that will work. This that will work. This is not a story that will work. Because the story that will work because it lacking a central theme. It lacking a protagonist. It lacking anything resembles compassion. Or anything. Nobody believe nothing happened to you, Dr. Dawes. Not a soul that I spoke to. Believe nothing happened to you. Some people are asking what you talk about. So there you go. So that throw your thing out of the door. So you barely had 200 people that showed up at the meeting. PJ decided no that him couldn't go, could not go, and that no condition PJ could have gone to that meeting to go legitimize a process that just no ring good. PJ never operates so. When PJ have problems in the constituencies and calling him crew and send them down there. Send Dr. Phillips, send Paul Robertson, send Maxine Henry Wilson. You remember what people could have said? And those people were experienced political operatives, so they knew what they were doing. This a team that rises them are not political operatives. They don't know nothing about politics. Them just hijack the PMP, spend their money, buy off the liquor, delegate them, control up the thing, and that's it. And them a work on film agenda, which is to get in as much rice candidates as them possibly can, to keep and maintain and keep control of the PMP for 1,000 years. That's me putting it like that. So I guess that is what them aim and them ambition is. And the plan has not changed. So Dr. Dawes is in deep crap. And the people of Southeast St. Catherine, and I've spoken to quite a few, are adamant that they are not with you, Dr. Dawes. And you have had numerous opportunities. Dr. Dawes have had numerous opportunities to change his stance, to try a new game. Instead of walking on him select, all right, so who not support me? I go out some other man who support me. So I start walking with a crew of people. Hustle, them man, they are hustle. All of them people are hustlers. Good PNP them, but hustle them influence not wide. Instead of trying to solve the situation and go to your godfather, go sit down with him and help and make him help you strategize as to how to get this thing settled. You go down there and push up yourself and I walk on with bad man. Like you think some people afraid of bad man anymore. Well, I don't know, but maybe some people still afraid of bad man, I don't know. But that is what happened there, so at that meeting Friday, and then the next one Sunday, and poor Dr. Dawes. Poor Dr. Dawes. You just couldn't cut it. That you try to sell a story that one of Dr. Dawes' problem I am assuming and I am deducing is that he didn't do his due diligence in the entire constituency. Had he done that due diligence, he would not have been making all of these kind of errors. Yeah, and he would have tried to find another way to work this out and stuff. But also because he has no humility. Because Dr. Dawes is not a humble man. He has no humility, and him don't believe that as a politician he kiss somebody else. My dear son, as a politician, you better learn to kiss ass. And that is why people behave the way they do on election day. Because election day, they must come sit on one side and I want everybody not talk to them. Because them know that day they are for them there. So Unless you're willing to kiss ass and bend over backwards, and maybe it's not worth it because you think yourself bigger than the people and higher than the people and better than the people. So maybe you ought to just leave the people alone and them consequences, make them select who them want select, and stop telling them about who no look good, and the party needs somebody who will carry off the party. And them something they are out of order, and this from Dayton Campbell and him crew, you know. Out of order, and this I talk about Alric get a chance, just like Wavell Hines got a chance to remap in future and let it go, because Wavell couldn't get a seat, so the game deputy general secretary, so now he's a walk around and back up the pedophile, and we have questions about him. And waiting for him to make a mistake, you see, and try and mess with anybody that we supporting. Right, if we just mash down Wavell Hines and send him in Ross yard. So that's it for Southeast St. Catherine. And I know we're dying to reach to my notes are many. And I have because you can't see me, I have 15 pages of notes, and I have just gone through 7. And the next 8 is dedicated to the great Mark Jefferson Golden. The great Mark Jefferson Golden, and him excitement, what him a go on with. And I am telling you, and let me just say this to the Jamaican people and to the PNP people. No matter how many times you say Mark Golden is deceptive and lie and misled the PNP people, misled the country, and deceived Portia Simpson Miller, no matter how many times you say that, it will never be enough time to repeat it for the country to understand the magnitude of what he has done. So let me start with him at where Angela Brownburk got up and in the parliament and said, gave a speech that she totally plagiarized. It's a Peter Phillips speech, that she plagiarized the speech, coming to the parliament, chatting all kind of foolishness and repeating Peter Phillips's words. And then, in her defense of Mark Golden, Angela Brownburk said something like, Mark Golden is a lie, he doesn't have any family that owned slaves. And as I told you, I've told you many times, Angela Brownburk is not very bright. Not at all. She just walk on and you know, but she's not very bright. She is not a very bright person. Because if she was, she would not take our word, and we have always said it, and I have always said it. Don't take my word for anything. If I tell you something, go check on it, man. Go research it. Go double check it. Go see if Karen Cecilia telling the truth about something. Not like when we're out there tell lie about Mrs. Holness own land, cow land will belong to Melissa, and Mrs. Holness don't own the land. And then I go find the documents, and I find the record, I will pay money to get what we want, because that's what we do. And present the evidence to you. So it's your turn now. It's your move. Show us what you think you have. So I want to ask Angela Brownburk if she have ever heard of some of Mark's family's ancestors. If she have ever heard about the coins? The coins, the roads, the Nuneses. Those are Mark Golden ancestors, slave owners. As a matter of fact, I have never mentioned this before, and maybe I have. But because I still don't have all the information yet, I'm not drumming it home. But one of these guys, I don't remember if it's Nunes or Rhodes. I think Michelle can remind me. I think it's Rhodes. One of these guys actually was a part owner in the Kensington estate in St. James, where Sam Sharp was a slave. That estate where Sam Sharp was a slave. One of these guys, I don't remember if it's Nunes or Rhodes, but it's one of them, was a part owner who sold his half or his portion or his part of the estate to the guy who owned the vast majority of the Kensington estate. He sold that part and went away to England. But one of my ancestors had ownership in that estate. So I don't know where Angela Bromberg come off behaving as if she don't know about history. She needs to go read history. Go understand history. And if you're going to come defend Mark, and look what she did. Because I like to pay attention to what they do. And what they do sometimes amazes me, and sometimes they do something that galls me. And the next time they do something that absolutely just, flummox me about how they think and how they do things. So Mark Golding, Angela Bromberg went into the parliament, and the only defense she could offer for Mark Golding in this whole saga of his citizenship to Britain is that he never have no slave relations. Mark Golding is going around now behaving like a man who is shell-shocked. Him shell-shocked. Everything him do, everywhere him go, every interview him do, every media personality, social media otherwise, that he has spoken to, it is clear that he's suffering from shock. And I mean major shock. Just go back and look at those videos. The man is suffering from some major shock. And I keep asking myself, what is it that's shocking so much? That he's behaving, boy, I'm in a business with a guy. And a guy can't do that, and not because a guy can do that. And in his guy argument, he was referring, of course, to Matthew Samuda, who's a young fellow. So we can call him Matthew Samuda. Matthew, I love the name Matthew. My son named Matthew. And a guy. Yeah, a guy can do everything, but I'm not follow a guy. This disrespect, this disdain that this man have for people. I'm not follow a guy. The guy, and a guy I do that, and a guy I do that. Me I pray, me don't pray upon it yet, Me I go and pray upon it. Huh? God not listen to Mark Golding prayer. God not listen to Mark Golding prayer because he's a liar and a deceiver. And so, I'm talking about in his interviews and his utterances, there are clear indication that he's shocked. Why is he shocked? I believe that Mark Golding is shocked that we actually found out everything that we need to know, and there is still more to come. And he has reached a stage in his state of shock where he knows that the rest of things them can come any minute. And him not care. Him just shocked. And him very, very volatile right now. It's like a time bomb. I'm very, very volatile right now because him just a chat go on, him just dip on the media and him a chat and just chat all kind of things, Yeah, and a guy, not ready yet, and it's not illegal, and so that's against the law, yeah, but I'm not doing anything illegal, I'm not doing anything against the law, and he thinks that it is okay. He thinks that this is okay. And there are people backing him up to make him feel like it's okay. Like the people who are interviewing him. Because him only going to friendly places to get that, to get the kind of, to get to spout off the kind of things that he wants to spout off. Huh? It's okay. It's okay for him. It's not against the law and the Constitution. And it's not illegal. And Ray, as if him don't understand that it is way past that now. It's not about whether you having a dual citizenship is legal or not legal. It is about how you have desecrated the Constitution of Jamaica, how you have lied and deceived your way into our parliament, because by standing up to elections and standing up to being elected as leader of the opposition and president of the People's National Party, you have had to lie and deceive your way into those positions. It's not about anything else that him talking about, and Uno need to understand that. So let me go repeat some things to Uno. Let me go repeat some things to Uno. Mark Golding's mother is a Jewish woman. I will have no quarrel with Jewish people. I love the Jewish people. There is an ordinance and laws that govern the Jewish faith called the Halakha. It's an ordinance. It's a kind of a book. It's rules of laws and ordinances. And it says that a Jew is a Jew by birth. And to become a Jew by birth, you must be born to a Jewish mother. Mark Golding's mother is a Jewish woman. Not quarreling with Mark Golding's mother, but she's Jewish. And in looking into more of his ancestors and finding out about more of his lies, I conclude that his mother is Jewish, and chances are, as a Jew, she probably holds and have held an Israeli passport for most of her life, if not up till now. I conclude that because historically, the Jews, all of whom are Jewish because their mother was Jewish, like Mark, born of a Jewish mother, is automatically a Jewish and is Israeli and Jewish citizen. Automatic. Is like a Jewish Israeli citizen. So chances are Mark Golding does have an Israeli passport. And I thought about that long and hard before I decided to say I'm going to talk about it. I checked as far as I could possibly go to find out is it possible that Mark Golding also owns a Jewish passport? Is it possible? And I came to the conclusion, based on what I know, that he does. That Mark Golding, in all probability, 98% probably owns a Jewish passport as well. It is Israeli passport, sorry, not a Jewish passport. An Israeli passport as well as his British passport. I have come to that conclusion. Now, Mark Golding can throw all of this out by doing two things. He can show us the Jamaican birth certificate that him have, and we know what the birth certificate look like. Yeah, we have seen the birth certificate. There are questions to be asked about that birth certificate. Is Jamaican birth certificate, if it is a legit and authentic birth certificate. There are information on that birth certificate that are missing. There are information on that birth certificate that is spurious at best. There are information on that birth certificate that should be there that is not there. And every birth certificate supposed to have that information. Female not have it. So questioning that. And he can put all of this back at rest, by just releasing these things. Release him in Jamaican birth certificate that him say him have. Huh? Release in British birth certificate that him probably have to. As I told you already, we don't come to these conclusions lightly. We don't. We dig in. And we dig in deep. A lot of it costs a lot of money, but we're still digging. We don't worry about that. So there's that. There's a Jamaican passport which he got in 2011 with a Jamaican birth certificate which has some missing information on it, but is enough to give him a passport. Well, nobody never question him based on who he is. There is a possibility that he also owns an Israeli passport. We don't understand, when we started out this thing, and we started telling you about Mark Golding, I come in and call up someone name. Some are only in the PMP bigwigs. When we tell things to you, only say, Karen, you need to stop that. That is not true. That is not true. Party leader is a Jamaican citizen. The party leader, I don't think the party leader ancestors owned slaves. Somehow, yeah man. But soon the face now, not only egg upon it, but shaving cream. Full of bite. Because you don't listen to reason, you think you don't know it all and everybody else is an idiot. I will tell you that this man is lie. From the beginning, we never miss a beat. From the beginning, he's lie and deceptive, and he goes through lengths to cover whatever his lies are. So we believe that. When he decided to talk about his wife. This is the next thing that bothered me. It has been bothering me for weeks. For weeks, me and Michelle back and forth about it. And other people. Why is it when he addressed the matter, we have said many things about him and his wife. Many things. And he chose, apart from telling the confused and mixed up story about how him just moving in panic, you know, because him and Bongo, them go a turntable, you know, and she did come with Bongo, you know, and me just moving in panic, you know, apart from that story where care get straight, apart from that, the only other thing that he has chosen to address, there's just one thing that he chose to address, one single thing, and that is, he said, my wife is not the helper's daughter. Of all the things that we have said, this is the thing that he chose to address. My wife is not the helper's daughter. I suspect the children and the wife, Sandra, and Sandra, our girl now, I suspect that they are the ones who giving him a hard time about addressing that. That, you know, we out here call him their mother, the helper's daughter. So he felt that the only thing he needed to address was that his wife is not the helper's daughter. Be careful where you're in, Mark Jefferson, because you should know by now that when we say you got the helper's daughter pregnant at age 14, we don't take back that. When you know that, and you know the story we are talking about, and believe you me, as Jesus died on that cross, bowed his head and said, it is finished, and the sky got dark, and the thunder roared, and then the third day he rose again. As sure as that, you can be sure that we will be telling the Jamaican people every single thing over a period of time. So he addressed that one issue, not just something else, just that. And then he tell the story of Imam Bongo, and you know, I will go turntable, you know, and she gave me that somebody else, you know, yeah, I'm just moving, panic, like a damn thug. And me just moving, panic. And that is the only thing that he chose to address. That his wife was not the helper's daughter. It's the only thing that he attempted to clear up and left all the other questions unanswered. But we're not worried about that. We're not worried about that, you know. That's so sort out. Marky G, you're Marky British. That's so sort out. And then we found something. We went looking for Portia's statement, because we're sure that Portia made a statement about the dual citizenship thing. And yes, she did. In 2008. Follow me now. In 2008, when the dual citizen thing was an argument was going on again about it, as arguments was going on all around it. May 24th, 2008, Portia spoke on the matter. 2008, when Mark was named an opposition spokesperson and named a senator in the parliament, in the upper house, in the Senate, as a senator, he sat in that parliament in 2008, 4 years after he renewed his British passport, because he kept renewing it. That is a point I want you to understand, you know, over the years, you know. as an adult, he kept renewing it to show that he have absolutely no loyalties to Jamaica, to show that he intend to keep in British citizenship. So he kept renewing it. So 4 years before he was named as senator, he renewed it. In 2004, he became a senator. In 2007, after we lost the elections, and Portia named him a senator. And in 2008, when they were talking about it, Portia went to a divisional conference down by Northwest Clarendon. I think that was Azan's place. And Portia made this statement. And Portia said, while the PNP does not have a problem with persons holding dual citizenship, any such individual should not sit in the House of Parliament. When the PNP people are sitting on the road and talk. Let me read back that phone what Portia said. She said, while the PNP does not have a problem with persons holding dual citizenship, any such individual should not sit in the House of Parliament. She went on to say, if you owe an allegiance to a foreign power, and you should not be, then you should not be a member of Parliament or a senator in this country. You should not have divided loyalty. That's what Portia said. If you are the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, and there's a vote to be taken at the World Trade Organization or at the United Nations, you run the risk, basically what you were saying, to have some people that pull you one side, to call you aside, and have to think twice how to vote, because you have dual loyalties. Whether your loyalty is to Britain, who also sits on the WTO, or Jamaica, and what is best for Jamaica as against what is best for Britain, and maybe what is being looked at now is best for Jamaica but not good for Britain, how are you going to choose? A prime minister with a dual citizenship goes to the United Nations, the National Security Council of the United Nations, and there's a vote to be taken, and that matter that the vote is to be taken on, Jamaica support A, and Britain supports B. Which way our Prime Minister, who is a citizen of Britain, beholden to Britain, have shown his loyalties over the years to Britain, which way is he going to vote? Is he going to vote for what Jamaica wants? Or is he going to vote for what Britain wants? Mark Golding can't stay. I guarantee you Mark Golding will not be here long. The rest of the horses, don't worry yourself about it. He have to resign. He have to leave. He have to either go renounce his citizenship and come back, or just go about in business and nobody come back. We prefer just go about in business and nobody come back. One of the reasons why he does not want to give up the British citizenship, and it's probably his most compelling reason, is that if you give it up, unlike the United States where you can give up your United States citizenship and go about your business for whatever reason, but the truth of the matter is when you give up your United States citizenship, you still have your birth certificate and your social security number and your rare. Those things that are not wiped from the records. Because there's the option, you have the option to come back. But in Britain, if him give up the citizenship, him can't get it back. And since we suspect that his children probably have this citizenship as well, this is something I'm particularly hard about. All his businesses, in money, in foundations, in charities, in father's legacy. You know what I'm saying? Every time I'm sitting in front of camera, I'm saying, my father, I am my father. I inherit this from my father, and I am my father. He might tell me plain and straight to Jamaica. Who do not listen? No one if you not listen. He might tell Jamaica plain and straight and plain and simple. This is my father. I am my father. My father was a British agent. I am now the British agent in my father's stead. I have this thing. I am a British citizen. Me nah give it up. Jamaica don't mean that much to me. That's what is he saying. All of his father's organization have fallen into delinquency in this country, but all of them is up and running in Britain, paying the taxes, paying all kind of things that they pay, employ people, while the one them down here mash up, nobody have no employment, nobody don't know nothing about it. Zara Burton reported that in her very, very, very good research that she did. Huh? It's my father. I am my father. My father gave me this, and my father gave me that, and I am my father. So he got the new passport in 2004, became a senator 3 years later. 1 year after that, Portia made this statement that she does not believe if you owe an allegiance to a foreign power, you should not be a member of parliament or a senator in this country. You should not have divided loyalties. That Portia said. And when she said that in 2008, he was sitting in the Senate representing the People's National Party, and he never went to her. He never went to Portia and said, listen to your statement, comrade leader. And I want to share this with you. I can't serve. Or for those of you supporting him, at the time when Portia said that and he was sitting in the Senate, he could have renounced his citizenship if he didn't care about Jamaica. But he couldn't. He couldn't go renounce his citizenship. Him keep it. Him get to the Senate in 2007. In 2008, Portia said, not sit nobody who have dual citizenship, not sit on parliament. Him never go tell her. Him not tell nobody. Him not renounce him citizenship. Oh no. In 2008, in 2011, Portia promoted him. Made him a minister of justice. 8, 9, 10, 11, 4 years. Him sit down with that British passport while Portia talk about nobody enough to sit down in the parliament with dual citizenship. And him sat there with it, never give a rat's ass about Jamaica. Because him a Jamaican and him not there for stay, him a pass through. And I say him live, him not have nothing yes so. Him also in him name. Him not no business here. As Michelle said on our video, all we own here can put in him suitcase. Because it's just money and paper and documents. So he just put that suitcase and just gone. Him do own a thing here. He can pack up and leave anytime him ready. While he was in the house in 2011, appointed as Minister of Justice. I wonder if I understand this. In 2014, while he was still Minister of Justice, he went again and he renewed the passport, in British passport. Him had it before he became senator, when we were in opposition. Him hear Portia talk about it a year later. He did nothing, not a thing. Don't say nothing to nobody. Don't go renounce his citizenship. Don't make no move. Nothing. 3 years later, she named him minister, and him still not say it. Don't do a thing. And then 3 years later, became Minister of Justice, and him don't say nothing to her, and then him go renew it. while he was minister, him go renew it. 2004, 2014. Him renew it while he was a minister, sitting in the parliament. Get him Jamaican passport by then, have a diplomatic passport also, and still have the British passport, and him go renew it. A clear intent on his part. You don't need no more evidence than that to know that this man can't serve as prime minister and should not be serving as leader of the opposition. He had it. He had it before he was appointed, and he never said anything. All right? Let's give him some slack. Let me go cut him some slack. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Let's be fair. Nobody ever talked about it when he turned senator when we were in opposition in 2007. So all right, him turn opposition senator. Him nobody say nothing. Because nobody not say nothing. Me understand that. But then your leader, when the old furrows start going about dual citizenship and who have it and who don't have it and who don't want to give them railway, you never felt an obligation to say to your leader, I need a meeting with you. I listened to the speech where you give down a Clarendon the other day, and I want to share this with you so we can know how we are going to move forward. It's a simple, honest, decent thing to do. Just to say to your leader and listen to the speech. And when you gave me this appointment in 2007 as a senator, I had it then. And now I hear you, so I could talk about it. And he chose not to. Instead, he sat there and allowed Portia to promote him to Minister of Justice. And then while he was Minister of Justice, he went and renewed it again. And you sit down there thinking that this is a joke matter. He have to leave. He can't stay. No matter how long he delay it, his time draweth nigh. It's coming. It's not going. The man renewed. I remember what the law said. Jamaican constitution not to be played with, you know. Jamaican constitution is the law of the land. And nobody now wrap up with Mark Golding with it. But me, and some people I know, not wrapping up with Mark Golding about it. Not at all. We don't array with him. Because he had it. He saw the political discussions taking place. He heard Portia's statement on the matter. And he never felt that he had some kind of obligation to the People's National Party, to his leader, and to this country that him sit on our parliament and write laws for. And he never felt he had an obligation to say, this is it. We have this thing and so and so and so and so. And then, him start back the argument. He was the one who started up this whole argument again about the whole constitutional reform, you know. Because he was hoping, one of the reasons why him looks so shell-shocked, and I wanted to look at him. Go back and look at all those videos, media thing him upon. One of the reasons why he is so shell-shocked and why he's so shaken by it, believe what I tell you, know, Mark is pissing in his pants about this. It shake him up to his core. Why? One of the reasons why I'm so shell-shocked about it. One, he was hoping that Andrew Holness would have called the election, the general elections, before we find out. That's how deceptive he is. He was hoping that the local government election would have been a general election before we find out that this is what he did and continues to do. So that's shocking. And the second thing that really, now the thing that really pissed him off and shocked him, rather than looking like a robot these days. I'm a father. This is my father. I inherit this from my father. I am my father. Of course you are. I am my father. Absolutely, nobody can take that from you. You are your father. British agent John Golding. New British agent Mark Jefferson Golding, who's not very good at being a British agent. They must be pissed at you. I know these things work. I'm sure they're pissed at your ass. And him now give it up. He might wait for somebody to force him to do it. Because he knows the JLP can't sue him, can't take him to court for it, because them have people with dual citizenship too. And everybody love to say that. This man have dual citizen, that man have dual citizen. The laws of the land must be observed. Our constitution must be respected. And Mark Golding pouring scorn on it, him pissing on it. Him get up and piss every day upon constitution. Sat in our parliament from 2007 and piss on our constitution. I have no idea how upsetting it is. How he lied his way into our parliament. Lied his way. Deceived the PNP delegates them. And they sold the party to him. And riding the wave of all of that, hoping that Andrew Holness would have called the general election, where we'd now have to carry him to court and kick him out. Had he been that and he won. And still sitting there. It's a law, I'm not breaking the laws, and it's not illegal, and it's not illegal, and I am my father's son. I am my father's son. Yeah, you are. Absolutely. Kicking around our constitution like it's his own personal piece of paper. Take our constitution for like, why, I am my father. My father, I am my father. My father gave me this thing, me not go back, me not give back, me I keep it because of my own. Uno go away. What that him I say? What do you think him I say? What do you think him saying? My father gave me this. Me not give it up. Uno go away. That's because he has no respect for me. No respect for nothing Jamaican. This is at him yard. Just a pass through. My hang on look a bit. There's a jam. And he knows if he gives up that citizenship and that passport, he can't get it back. And his Israeli passport, because I am convinced he has an Israeli passport. Yeah, good for about 160, 65 countries, but it's not a British passport. Everything we have is in Britain. Every damn thing that he has is in Britain. Everything we own here can hold in our bag. Because of paper. And can take up himself and he can leave. And so, having recognized that this is the state of play, Bunting started to make a move. Because side chick Nick, with her melting body parts them, she seemed to be on a roll. Every day now she get up and have something to say. Talking about the Minister of Health who shouldn't get preferential treatment. What a rotted company in this country when the Minister of Health turn up at the hospital that him responsible for and can't get specialized treatment. Shall I rub her mouth about that? Shall I rub her mouth about how Mr. Vaz put out mark information? We have all of them information there too. Mr. Vaz alone have them information. We have more information than all of them. We have information all the way up to Kazoo. We have information till sometimes we forget, so we have all the information. We have information like I come out all with ears. People from all over the world call us. Oh, this thing that you asked me about? Yeah, I found a thing. I don't know if it's interesting to you, but I think you might have some interest in something. Should I send it to you? I said, no, send it to Michelle. Okay, will do. Hey, Car, I found something. I don't know about that thing that you told me about. Yeah, well, I went to the library today. Yeah, and I decided to look for it to you. Don't find out because I can't spend much time, but I'm going to send it. Who should I send it to? Send it to Michelle. We have information all over the place. Yeah. Hey, hi, Miss Cross. This is John from the National Archives, or this is Jesus. So there he is. keeping him British passport, keeping his British citizenship, don't give a shit about us. And so side chick Nick, on instructions of Murcat, decided to put out a thing to the vice presidents. We don't really take people for eat, don't take people for eat that, you know. We don't take the whole Jamaican, we don't take the whole of the voters and for eat that. We don't think that everybody a fool and nobody went to school. Everybody an idiot. Nobody went to school or who want to go to school. So side chick out there in this raging heat we are going to Jamaica. She have to stay in the cool because every part of her going to melt if she come out in the heat. So she had the cool breeze, she had the AC issue out statement and I put out videos. Because if she come out here, then the breast they are going to melt. And the breastplate are going to go back flat. And the bottom is going to deflate. I want the heat wave here one day. And somebody there with a nearby with a phone. Take a picture. So she put out this thing. Basically telling them that the boss is not cutting it anymore. And Bunting wants him to resign so that he can get South St. Andrew. The boss not cutting it anymore. Whatever bogus polls you send the Dan go do, that might show that he not cut it no more. So we need to get ourselves organized in order to keep power. Because this is basically what our little thing saying. We have to organize ourselves to keep power, to ensure that we have the power. Because when the boss have to resign, because that's if, you know, it's not if the boss have to resign, you know. Mark Golding have to. He will resign. And a if, and a but. Because the Jamaican Constitution stands firm and stands tall and it's bigger than the whole of UNO. So she said out this thing. But the boss have left the scene. So Paul Well, with your dirty out of order nasty self. You damn whore will sell your body to every available rich man. And come sit down and PMP talk about your deputy general secretary. And I call up Paul Well name. Paul Well have issues, continued issues. And with your dirty face to sell boy Lisa and as a serpent and a liberator. Una liberate. Mark Golding and the one who liberate to vote for Delroy Chuck every year. When I talk about serpent, you're actually projecting Miss Nikisha, side chick. You're actually projecting when you talk about serpent. Because you know when you look in that mirror, you see the serpent. You know when you take off bunting underwear, you see the serpent. You know when you bend over and turn over and lift over and stand up and head or whatever it is you animal do. You know you see the serpent. The serpent is you and Murcat. With your outer self. And so, as a result of all of that, we think that it's time now that we start getting Julian prepared and get him ready for this thing. Let's get Julian ready because the boss have to take for himself. So, Julian, if you know, line up. Now, me call Julian Minnie Mark. He miss Minnie Mark. Because me at the parliament, hey, yes, hey. Him and Angela always a vie to see who can talk the loudest, who can thump the desk the loudest, who can say yeah and ray the loudest, who Mark can get to say, yeah, are you? And I'm going to put in forward Julian Robinson. Now, that is a death blow. A fatal death blow. That you're dealing to Minnie Mark. Poor Minnie Mark. And I suspect the statement was also meant to throw him out there to be eaten up. It's like the kiss of death for him. And he'll be eaten up by the rise rice style eating up. So if Mark resign, I want to put Julian forward. You must know. Because putting him forward would suggest that you think him is a placeholder. And him going to hold the place for what reason? You know, Mark, you think Mark will renounce his British citizenship and come back? Or you think that somebody will give Bunting a seat and they will make him leader of the opposition or whatever? So Minnie Mark is just going to hold that spot until one want to come back. So they just hand it over to Minnie Mark and say, yeah, hold a place and we'll soon come back. Well, I'd like to have Uno and Minnie Mark that he will also be thoroughly examined. Many of the resistance already have them documentations on him. They know exactly what him is about and the role that he played in the rise of the Rise movement. And I'm sure that all stones will be turned over and all can of worms will be opened to see what role he played. So, Minnie Mark can go take up that if he want. Minnie Mark can go take up that role that they might give him as a placeholder if he want. Because him know what role he played and why they want to give him that. Now the final thing I want to look at is this argument that Mark Golding and this side chick, the frozen fried side chick where melt, I threaten the PMP people them and I threaten the PMP party about if Mark have to leave, we're going to starve the party for money. But I don't really take the idiot, you know. Well, you take the people them we're following up. Them want to take for idiot because no idiot now, so. And them want to take for idiot. You can't starve the PMP for money. You can't starve the PMP for money. You way in their ball say, you don't have money to pay on the staff. I would know, so I will not tell still with that. But you can't starve the PMP. PMP get a good leader, PMP have no problem in raising money. No problem at all in raising money. So I'm saying to you all, that with all what you go on with, about Mark have to leave. And the sooner him do it before all hell broke loose on him, the better it is for him. But him not do it. Him not do it because him not care. Care about Jamaica, not care what you think, not care what you want to say. It's my father, and I am my father. I am my father. It's my father. And it's against the law, it's legal. Yeah. Breaking a legal setting of our constitution, you don't consider it to be illegal. You are illegitimate, Mark. You are a bastard. I'm the Norman, Marcus, and a bastard there again, but you are a bastard. You are a full-fledged bastard in the People's Parliament. And we're going to get you out. We are going to get you out. Either you go willingly, or we help you move. But you're going to go. And all of you out there are big him up and go on about Mark this and Mark that, and we frightened and we are going out kind of things about Mark and Mark this. I mean, I listen to you, you know. First of all, I listen to you because you're entitled to no opinion. And for no opinion, doesn't matter. Because nobody listens to you, really. When they say nobody now listen to the resistance, well, you can't hold whatever view you have. But you don't know what I can strike out here, sir. So we can't hold for the view and we hold our work corner. Because Mark can't stay. And he might either go willingly or he will be dragged out. One way or another, he will leave. And the Jamaican Constitution will stand. and it will be adhered to, and it will be observed in all its glorious passages and pieces and strange numbers and ways that it is written. It will be. It will be observed. No two way about that. And Mark Golding can't escape that. It will be observed. Because our constitutional procedures are there to be followed by law. And we will not allow Mark Golding to tear that down. And we will not allow him to be elected Prime Minister or remain as leader of the opposition while continuing to be a dual citizen with loyalties to Britain and none to us. And have no regard for us based on all the things that him out a road a spew for the last 2 weeks. I am my father. My father gave me this thing. That's why I know him shell-shocked, because he really don't know what him saying. I am my father. My father gave me my British citizenship. I am keeping it. I am not giving it up. Me no business with uno. Uno go. This is mine and mine only. Because my father. I am my father. And he gave it to me. Well, I am my mother. I am my mother. And she speaks through me. This will not stand. And Mark Golding will not stay in our parliament. Neither as leader of the opposition or Prime Minister. He will not stand in our parliament. So look at India do all kind of shenanigans on India do. All kind of shenanigans on India. Look at stay in there and do it. But know this. I want you to hear me good. I mean, now repeat myself. Well, do I repeat myself all the time? It just so good to say that. We are all accountable. Every single one of them. The whole thing I come tumble down on the head. The whole thing. One way or another. Because we not take a chat from you. So Dr. Dawes, him can stay with them excitement. I behave as if him thinks that the people of Southeast St. Catherine now no sense or frightened for him name or whatever his accomplishments are. And thinking that him don't owe no obligation to the citizens and the voters of Southeast St. Catherine. By being honest and upfront and decent and take with himself. And allow the people them to select who them want to lead them. There will be a day of reckoning for Dayton Campbell as well. Because the people of Eastern Westmoreland is going to be hearing from us enough about him. And they have a choice to make as to whether they are going to throw out one of their own and elect a pedophile who lost his seat and then come take for them. So they will hear from us as well. And the whole Jamaica will hear from us. And God have us covered under the blood of Jesus, sitting at that cross and praying, Lord, give us strength to face another day. I want to just, before I close, announce again that there will be a celebration of Jamaica, big celebration of Jamaica, on July 15th. It's July or June? I think it's July, but let me look back on the thing. And just to make sure that there will be this celebration of Jamaica. And it will take place, but I have June 15th here. It's June 15th. Is anybody that has anything to do with this on the live? Is it June or July? Because this thing says June 15th. It's June 15th at 8 a.m. Washington, D.C. Jamaican Embassy. I want to know where the Jamaican Embassy is. You Jamaicans that live in Maryland and District of Columbia and Virginia, those are neighboring places. On a journey over to the Jamaican Embassy, right round at the DuPont Circle there at New Hampshire Avenue, I think. That's where the Jamaican Embassy is. Northwest number 7. So I'm going to just go around here and go support Jamaica, big up Jamaica, wear Jamaica colors, carry the Jamaican flag, carry pictures of our Jamaican heroes that Mark Golding said that Nanny wasn't Jamaican. The man, they're out of order, you know, man. I true me not promote violence, you know. That may tell somebody need to see man box him down there. You see the man out of order. The man sit down in front of people at talk, news media or whatever media and I talk about Nanny and Taki. What? What are supposed to mean? We're supposed to make you a national hero? Or name a bridge for you like we did for Taki? Nobody was a Jamaican back in those days. Nobody. Everybody was African. Dumbass. Mark Jefferson. There was no Jamaicans at the time of slavery. They were just Africans. Hardly anybody did born here during them time there. Everybody came. And the Jamaican that was here were the Arawaks and the Tainos. And then as slavery progresses, more people came in. And then some Jamaicans start born. But Nanny and Taki and all of them people, they're most of our ancestors are not your ancestors, Mark Golding. You have ancestors down here that never owned slave. All your ancestors that were here owned slaves. They were slave owners. The Rhodes, the Cowens. They been owned slave. One of them was a part slave owner and the Kensington estate where Sam Sharp was. You're talking about? Nanny was an African. Taki, her brother, was an African. Everybody was African. And then there were some who were British and Portuguese and whoever else is down here. Everybody did down here. What do you think the matter is about? Out of many, one. But your ancestors were also here in a different capacity. Mark Golding, your ancestors were here in a different capacity. Nanny was taken from her homeland. Taki was taken from his homeland by your ancestors, Mark Golding. And your ancestors go down there and bring them here. Own them. Own them as people. Enslave them, chain them, and brought them here. Your ancestors were part owners in a Sam Sharp ownership. That much for sure off. I bet if you go dig deep, you might find that your ancestors were involved in Nanny and Taki to see you call up their name because you normally give us clues. Every time you open your mouth, you give us clues as to some of what the foolishness that went on in your ancestry. Some people need to go look into research team. Maybe we need to look into Taki and Nanny and find out if Mark Golding ancestors had anything going on out over in St. Mary and down in the cockpit country. Maybe we need to look into that. I talk about Nanny and the damn idiot them where sit down in front of you claiming that them doing an interview. Call themselves Jamaican and don't correct you. Because they suck up to you. Because you're them guy and them are your guy. And them not correct you. Nobody now say, listen to me, you can't make them kind of comparison. No, you can't make them comparison. You just can't. You don't have the right to make that kind of comparison. Not at all. You don't earn that right. Your people enslave our people. Don't use the words our ancestors. Your ancestor, my ancestor, two different people. Your ancestors owned my ancestors. Your ancestor enslaved my ancestors. Where you get this our? This man have no respect. No respect for Jamaicans. No respect. No tolerance. No, this man is weird. Out of line. Now what up in mouth about Jamaica and I talk about our ancestors. I talk about Nanny. Nanny came from Africa. Are you serious? Yes, Nanny came from Africa. Most of our ancestors came from Africa. Came out of order. Anyway, let me see if there's anything that I should address. Anybody? Anything? Because, I hear people when I come off and they want to say, Karen Mida said this and Karen Mida said that. Or Karen Mida asked this and Karen Mida asked that. Mark British Mark hate you. Can he express his freedom by burning your house? No, he can't. This is not his house. Mark hate me, but he can't express his feelings by burning down the parliament. Because first of all, he not belong in the parliament. And he is not a Jamaican citizen. And not a loyal to his ear, so he not have them right there. Mr. Landlord, he have no right, none of those rights he don't have. He shouldn't even be in the parliament. So come with something else. Yeah, my photo look good, yeah, thank you. Good night, all, everybody. Is there anything else? Let me see. I don't know if I'm educating, because there's quite a few PMP people who bought into Mark Golding's lies and his treachery and his deceptions and continue to believe that him is them guy. And, No, man, PJ didn't go to that foolishness. You mad? But no, PJ practice a little bit better than some people, We must know our people, and know our leaders. PJ wouldn't turn up at that meeting. PJ know that a pure bangarang and excitement and kind of mix up. PJ knows a pure foolishness going on there. PJ couldn't go. PJ could not go down there at all. Blessings to you, to my brother and sister. So, Dr. Dawes, the penny moon. And no matter how much bad man he might walk with him, Southeast and Catherine people, they're going to sort him out. And the voters of this country will hear more from me and all the resistance about how you should exercise that franchise that is God-given to you in terms of the people that you elect to lead you and to represent you. And you must do so wisely. I was telling about all the rights candidates that one should not vote for. I would not come in some word this time about it. I tell you, we're going to give them back a taste of their own medicine because they should be punished. They should not be rewarded for what they did to this country and to the People's National Party. And as long as I breathe, they will not be rewarded. So, Mark Golding have no respect for Jamaica. No respect for the Jamaican people. He has no intention of giving up his British citizenship because he not count we. He may expect that we will elect him to go lead the country and him keep it, which is what he was hoping for. Which is why him so shell-shocked right now. And him pissed off with Mr. Holness and everybody. Because they should have called election already so that he could have been Prime Minister. And then, whatever. But him not no respect for us. No love for this country, no love for its people. No respect. He has nothing but utter contempt for all of us. So, last week you could accuse me of how short the live was. So, I am just looking at some of your is who trouble Jamaica politics and cover? Is who trouble Natalie? Care feelings to who? Who will care feelings for Mr. Derek calling and tell me? Who we carrying feelings for? Mark? Me can tell you plain and straight so me I care feelings for Mark. But I thought I'll only figure that out by now. But my feelings for Mark are not personal. Me not carry no personal feelings for Mark. And I certainly don't hate Mark. But me I carry feelings for Mark. Yes. Deep-seated patriotic feelings. Me I carry for him. Him lie him way into our parliament, lie him way into the leadership of the PNP, lie him way into the opposition leader position, and continues to lie him way and deceive. So yes, me carry feelings for him, deep-seated patriotic feelings. That's the kind of feelings me carry for him. So I don't know where you come from with all of that. What kind of feelings do you think me carry for him? That's the feelings me carry for him. I'm disrespectful to our country. I'm disrespectful to our constitution. I have no respect for our ideals and our history No respect for where we're coming from. No respect for what we deserve and what we have worked so hard and toil and struggled for. No respect. So yes, you know me not telling a lie. Yes, me I carry feelings for him. Not only I carry feelings for him too, because me I carry feelings for him. Deep-seated patriotic feelings. Him not a respect for the PNP constitution. Who do you think is a Jamaican constitution him got respect for? Come on, people. What's wrong with you? If he couldn't respect the PNP constitution, how are you going to expect him to respect the Jamaican constitution? You think all of that going on with Southeast and Catherine and Dr. Dawes is Dr. Dawes caused that on himself? No! It's Mark and Dayton Campbell and Peter Mountain. It's them create that. It's them create that. So yes, let me say it again. Yes, I am carrying feelings for him. Deep, deep patriotic feelings that I think my country deserves better. I think my party deserves better. I think we can do better. And I think that all of you out there supporting him, I think that we are traitors and we are Judas. I want to lack patriotism. I want to lack understanding. I want to refuse to go educate yourself and understand what's going on. I want to refuse to decide to take him side and run with that. Instead of defending the country or the community, who want to defend this white man who hold on to him British citizenship right through all the time, even my rope him out, all our government in our parliament holding on to him citizenship, renewing that passport every 10 years. So, him father get to him as a child. So let's say him father get it till him at least 20. How many times have you renewed it since he has become an adult? It shows a clear lack of commitment to this country. What do you need for him to say that? Tell me. What do you need for him to say that? If you have no commitment to this country. If as an adult, he felt the need sitting in our parliament as a minister, and he felt the need to go renew that British passport. Not once, twice. And you talk about we have feelings for him? Yes, sir, I am. Absolutely. Write me down for that. I am carrying feelings for him. Yes, he does have a British certificate. Yes, for real. Yes, Denzel M. Mark Golding does have a British birth certificate. Yes, he does. Now, I mean a word on that one. He have to resign. He have to resign. After resign, not him. After leave. He can't stay. Him being there is a breach of our constitution. It is. It's a breach of our constitution. But him don't damn care. Him no business. It no matter to him. Not at all. It no matter to him. He just a go on. Yeah. It's my father. My father give it to me. I am my father. Because I am my father. You know, my father give me this thing and I am my father. There's no need to. I'm not breaking the law. The rules are there. The law, and it's legal, and it's read. No concern. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all for Jamaica. Not once. The only thing you want from Jamaica is power. To put us back. To prove to him British masters that, see there, yeah man, I am just as good as my daddy as an agent. Yeah, my daddy came down here with the virus to infect the people them with polio, and all of them catch polio, and then my daddy use the polio and make them sick, and then him use it and get them better, and he was a good agent, and he was knighted by the Queen, and his name is Sir John Golding, and yes, I am a good agent. May I stay, because I'm going to be Prime Minister. And when I become Prime Minister and I do everything what I want me to do, you can give me the knighthood too. I wish I could say I would like to be to live for the day when him get it. Just to prove, you know. But I don't want to do that. I don't. Yeah. Yes, Natalie. You're up on the live now. Talk.
Yes, good night, Karen.
Good night, my darling.
136 people over here hear the things there. And one thing I want to ask the people them. How is it that the Jewish people them where they come occupy upper camp? The 1500 Jew them? How come none of them never get the polio? No. Me hear yesterday the man come inject the polio in a Jamaica people them.
Yes, he did.
Him come to Jamaica and him come the people them at UK send him upper camp up a Mona, don't it?
Yes.
Which part the refugee them did it from over Gibraltar.
Yes.
And he came there to establish a medical community up there.
Yes.
How come them people never get the polio and him not treat none of them for the polio?
He never come to test it out on them. Them couldn't test out the polio vaccine on any British citizen, you know. That's why them send them over to the Caribbean to test it out. And here so them send them come test it out.
Something wrong, man.
Yeah, man. That's why we found it out.
Polio.
That's why we found it out and bust it out.
Lord Jesus, them say, listen, me I learn a whole heap as me I go along, you know. You see, that man there when him Sir John Golden,
yeah, man.
Him come to Jamaica because they send him down there. Him not come down there for 10 to Jamaican people. Mark Golden is such a liar. He's telling the people him like his father come as a humanitarian. No. His role in the military is to go into war and peacetime where medicine is concerned. That was his purpose of a Mona. To attend to the refugee them, because remember was wartime, World War II.
Yeah.
After World War II, the people in Jamaica about 4 years, so them need a medical. Remember we never have no UC and no hospital at them place there.
Yes.
So them say go on down there, go open up the university. The university that is associated with the one in London.
Yeah.
And when you open it now, open one hospital. That's what him come to do, you know, to deal with them people. Them not come to deal with Jamaica people them.
Yeah, and come with all the resources where needed.
Yes, none of them people don't get polio. Something wrong, man.
Yeah, something seriously wrong, my dear. It is true.
But may I agree with you? Mark Golden has to leave out of the parliament. Him thinks him above the law, some would have renounced his citizenship, which was a good move.
And I'm a call the man guy.
Yes, I say I'm out of order.
Then I tell you. Telling you.
I tell the people them say, Mark Golden and Peter Bunting, bad man Peter Phillips, because if you're looking at Mark Golden and Bunting, them head top, them not hearing them head top. Peter Phillips. Peter Phillips, all of that.
Peter Phillips, I'm here.
Peter Phillips, I'm losing here yet.
Peter Phillips, I'm here, and Mark Golden, and Peter Bunting out of here.
Them ballet boy, them ballet boy. They head ball, them pants big, and Peter Phillips and them not in a league yet. So that's why they get them and they want to go down to the
Be reminded, you know, that when John Golden came here, there was not even one case of polio in this country. Not even one.
True.
I bring it here. Oh.
Yes, and him never keep to none of the Jewish people.
No, them couldn't test it out on them. If test it out on the black people, the British sent him down here to test it out for the black kids. And because they were our masters at the time, whoever the governor was at that time gave him full run. Go and test it out. Yeah, go and test it out.
Put in name on the building them where the people them tell him to come establish.
Yeah.
Right? No Jamaican name could go on it, and Jamaican doctors down at Jamaica work before him come down here.
And whoever doctors in there had to work before him and also was helping him. You know?
So them are going like say him was the savior from.
We soon tear that down, man. Just give it time, man. One thing at a time. We soon mash that down. I make them take off the sir off him name down here. We go to England and call him
yes.
sir.
My goal in want to be knighted. Him not get no sir, man, for go back home. Go I come go get in stir.
That is what I think. That is where we go.
Alright.
Alright, darling. Good.
Yeah.
Yes, John. Mark Golin's father is buried. Mark Golin's same father buried at the Jewish cemetery. I don't know which one, because there's more than one. But him said his father is also a Jew. But him same father buried at the Jewish cemetery. All right, people. So we're going to call it a night. Thank you so much for joining me. This is a very strange YouTubing because you can't see me. Well, you see a picture of me. So we're doing one of those lives where not that Natalie does, where so. But glad that you joined me. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your participation. Remember to please continue to subscribe. I got 11,000 plus now, so I need for you to help me bring it up to want to keep going to 12,000, then 13,000. So for those of you who have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscription button. And set your notifications bell so that you can know when I post a video or when I come on. And there are so many other things to talk about. I hope that we can get to talk about them next week. So thank you all very much. Remember all the Jamaicans in the District of Columbia, in Virginia, in Maryland, in DC. Go and check out this thing June 15th and go big up Jamaica down by the embassy. God bless you all. Good night, everybody. Stay safe and keep the children safe.